The Marvel movies changed cinema forever. Superheroes became global icons, and a connected universe became the new standard for Hollywood. But behind the explosions, the epic battles, and the record-breaking box office numbers, there are stories most fans never hear about. Today, we're exploring 10 things you didn't know about the Marvel movies, details that reveal how risky, improvised, and fragile the Marvel Universe really was. Let's go beyond the screen. Fact 1. Iron Man was a huge gamble. It's hard to believe now, but Iron Man was a massive risk. At the time, Iron Man was not a popular superhero. He wasn't a household name. Marvel chose him because he was one of the few characters they still owned the rights to. Casting Robert Downey Jr. was an even bigger gamble. Many studios were worried about his past struggles. Some executives were completely against the decision, but Marvel believed his personality perfectly matched Tony Stark. That single casting choice didn't just save a movie, it shaped the entire Marvel Universe. Fact 2. The MCU was not planned from the start. One of the biggest myths about Marvel is that everything was planned years in advance. It wasn't. Early Marvel movies were created one film at a time. Connections were added only after success was proven. The famous Nick Fury post-credit scene in Iron Man was not part of a detailed roadmap. It was simply a test. Marvel wanted to see if audiences would accept a shared universe. When they did, Marvel slowly began connecting stories and characters. The MCU grew through experimentation, not perfection. Fact 3. Nick Fury was designed for Samuel L. Jackson. Nick Fury looks exactly like Samuel L. Jackson, and that is not a coincidence. Years before the movies, Marvel redesigned Nick Fury in the comics to resemble him. At the time, it was meant as a tribute, not a casting plan. But when Marvel reached out, Samuel L. Jackson agreed to play the role. On one condition, he wanted to be part of a long-term story. That decision turned Nick Fury into one of the most important characters in the Marvel Universe. Fact 4. Actors didn't know the full story. Marvel is extremely secretive. In many cases, actors were not given full scripts. Some only received the scenes they were filming. This was done to prevent leaks. In certain movies, actors didn't know who would survive or how the story would end. Their reactions on screen were often real. The audience wasn't the only one surprised. The cast was too. Fact 5. Post-credit scenes had no clear plan. Post-credit scenes became a Marvel tradition, but many of them were created before the full story even existed. Some scenes were designed only to create excitement and buy time. Marvel later adjusted future movies to fit those scenes. What looked like perfect planning was actually creative flexibility. Marvel left doors open and decided later which ones to walk through. Fact 6. Captain America's shield was constantly changed. Captain America's shield looked simple, but it took years to perfect. Early versions looked too modern. Others reflected too much light on camera. Multiple shields were created for different purposes. Lightweight shields for throwing, heavy shields for close-up shots, rubber shields for stunts. Even the color and shine were adjusted carefully. What seems effortless on screen required constant redesign. Fact 7. Thor's hammer controlled actors' movement. Thor's hammer was more than a prop. Different versions were made, each with a specific purpose. Some were light, some were heavy. Some were designed to break safely. The weight of certain hammers was used to control how actors moved. This forced a grounded, powerful posture. It made Thor look strong without relying entirely on CGI. Fact 8. Infinity War and Endgame were written backwards. Marvel knew one thing very clearly. The ending had to feel earned. Instead of writing the story forward, the writers worked backwards. They decided who would survive, who would sacrifice themselves, and how the emotional journey would end. Only then did they build the story leading to that moment. That's why the final films felt powerful, not random. Fact 9. Fake endings were filmed to protect major secrets. Marvel filmed fake scenes. Some actors believed their characters survived. Others thought the ending was completely different. Entire scenes were created just to mislead leaks and rumors. In some cases, the real ending was revealed only during final editing. Even insiders couldn't spoil what they didn't know. Fact 10. One movie saved Marvel before the MCU. Marvel was close to financial collapse. They sold character rights just to survive. The success of Iron Man changed everything. It gave Marvel financial stability, creative freedom, and the confidence to take risks. Without that one movie, the Marvel Universe as we know it might never have existed. The Marvel movies were not built on perfect planning. They were built on risk, improvisation, and belief in storytelling. And the more you look behind the scenes, the more impressive the journey becomes. Which Marvel fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoy discovering stories behind the stories, you're already beyond the screen.